here, I've got a school and a family. I don't know.
What if the heartwarming tales of Little House on the Prairie were hiding a storm of secrets that could shatter its wholesome image? Behind the rolling hills of Walnut Grove, the cast's real lives were a roller coaster of betrayals, hidden struggles, and jaw-dropping confessions that rivaled the show's boldest episodes. Did you know the stars you loved were caught in feuds so fierce they lasted decades? Or that one icon's lavish empire masked a battle that nearly broke him? From shocking losses to financial gambles gone wrong, the truth behind this TV classic is anything but simple. Buckle up as we uncover the untold drama of the Prairie. Secrets so wild you'll never watch those reruns the same way again. Can you guess who's hiding the biggest bombshell? Stick around because this saga's just getting started. Let's start with a twist no one saw coming. Melissa Gilbert, our beloved Laura Ingalls, and Allison Arngrim, the notorious Nellie Olson, were locked in a bitter feud on screen. Yet off-set, they were practically sisters. These two shared secrets and giggles, a far cry from the hair-pulling antics fans adored. Fast forward to today, and their bond remains a beacon of light amid darker times. Allison recently opened up about a heartbreaking loss in her family, a personal tragedy that's left her leaning on old friends like Melissa for support. Meanwhile, Melissa's own journey hasn't been without its bumps. Once a child star with the world at her feet, she faced financial strain after a costly political campaign in 2016 fizzled out due to health setbacks. Their past as TV enemies turned real-life confidants shows how time can heal, or at least redirect, the wildest of rivalries. But hold on to your bonnets, because not every relationship on set was a love fest. Melissa Gilbert and Melissa Anderson, who played the saintly Mary Ingalls, couldn't have been further from sisterly. Their off-screen clashes were legendary, a simmering tension that lasted all 9 seasons. Imagine clocking into work every day with someone who grates on your last nerve. That was their reality. Today, Melissa Anderson keeps a low profile, but whispers of a shocking confession about her time on the show have started to surface, hinting at unresolved bitterness. Gilbert, on the other hand, has been candid about her struggles, from health woes to the financial toll of her ambitions. Their past as feuding co-stars contrasts sharply with their present, where one seeks solitude and the other fights to reclaim her spotlight. Now let's zoom in on Michael Landon, the man who held Little House together? Or did he? As Charles Ingalls, he was the moral compass, but off-screen, his life was a roller coaster of highs and lows. His heavy drinking was the stuff of legend. Think coffee laced with liquor at dawn and a steady flow until dusk. It was a secret he masked well, until it wasn't. Recently unearthed stories reveal how his battle with the bottle strained his family ties, a dramatic development that echoes into today as his children navigate his complex legacy. But there's more to Landon than his vices. Born Eugene Morris Orowitz, he was a proud Jewish man playing a Christian icon, a cultural juggling act he managed with quiet grace. His signature curls? A dye job he obsessed over, a nod to the vanity that fueled his larger-than-life persona. Ready for a deep dive into Landon's world? This guy didn't just act, he lived like a king. His garage boasted a cherry-red Corvette and a gleaming Rolls-Royce, symbols of a career that soared from TV screens to Tinseltown royalty. On his wrist, a Rolex Daytona ticked away, a subtle flex of his success. Real estate was his playground. Think a sprawling Malibu estate and a cozy getaway in the hills, plus a private jet to whisk him between gigs. Landon wasn't just spending, he was investing. He poured money into production deals and even dabbled in a restaurant venture that had Hollywood buzzing. To protect it all, he had ironclad insurance policies, health, assets, you name it, ensuring his empire stayed intact. The lesson here? Diversify your hustle and guard it fiercely. Landon's knack for balancing risk and reward turned a kid from Jersey into a legend, though his lavish habits remind us that even icons wrestle with excess. But wait, there's more brewing in Walnut Grove. The show tackled gritty issues, addiction, prejudice, disability, mirroring the cast's own challenges. Take Steve Tracy, who played Percival, Nellie's husband. His on-screen romance raised eyebrows because Tracy was openly gay, a bold move for the era. Gilbert admitted it rattled her young nerves, especially when Tracy and Arngrim played it up with over-the-top smooches just to mess with her. Today, Arngrim reflects on Tracy's courage with pride, especially after his passing left a void she still feels. Then there's Jonathan Gilbert, Melissa's real-life adopted brother, and Willie Olson on screen. Their sibling bond crumbled post-show, and now he's a stockbroker in New York, a far cry from his acting days while she pushes forward in the public eye. And let's not forget the on-set romances. Sparks flew among the cast, adding a layer of chemistry that made the show pop. So, next time you catch a rerun, look beyond the prairie dresses and moral tales. The real Little House was a hotbed of human drama, from Michael Landon's luxe life and hidden struggles to Melissa Gilbert's enduring grit. These stars shaped a classic, but their stories, past and present, are what keep us hooked. Stick around, because Part 2 promises even juicier revelations from this unforgettable crew. First up, let's talk about Melissa Gilbert, the heart of the Ingalls family. As Laura, she was America's sweetheart, but her real life was anything but a fairy tale. At 11, she faced a devastating loss when her adopted father passed, leaving a void she hoped Michael Landon, her on-screen pa, could fill. Their bond was electric, until it wasn't. When Landon left his wife for a makeup artist, Cindy Clerico, Melissa felt blindsided, her trust shattered by the man she saw as a father. Fast forward to today, and Melissa's reflecting on that rift with new perspective, especially after a health scare forced her to rethink her priorities. Her net worth, once a robust $8 million at her peak, now hovers around $500,000, strained by medical bills and a failed political run. Yet, she's rebuilding, leaning on her resilience and a new memoir deal. What's next for this fighter? Only time will tell, but her journey from child star to survivor is nothing short of inspiring. Now let's pivot to Michael Landon, the man whose charm lit up the prairie. His financial empire was as epic as his on-screen presence. Starting with a modest $100,000 net worth in the early 70s, he built it to $40 million by the 90s through savvy producing and directing gigs. Today, his estate's value lingers around $20 million, with investments still paying dividends. Landon's real estate game was next level: a $10 million Beverly Hills mansion, a $5 million ranch in Montana, and a $3 million condo in Miami. His garage screamed Hollywood: a Ferrari 308, a Bentley Continental, and a vintage Mustang. A Patek Philippe Calatrava gleamed on his wrist, a nod to his meticulous style. He jetted between sets in a Cessna Citation, insured to the hilt with policies covering his health, homes, and career. His business ventures? A production company that churned out hits and a stake in a winery that's still thriving. The takeaway? Bet on yourself, but diversify. Landon's wealth grew because he never put all his eggs in one basket. But here's where it gets juicy. Did you know the show's roots trace back to Laura Ingalls Wilder's gritty childhood? Her books, born from years of hardship in Kansas, sparked a frenzy when Ed Friendly snapped up the rights. The series launched in '74, wrapping in '82, with a brief reboot that fizzled. Its success wasn't just luck, it was the cast's raw talent. Take Allison Arngrim, aka Nellie Olson. On-screen, she was Laura's nemesis, but off-screen, she and Melissa were thick as thieves, hosting sleepovers and pulling pranks. Recently, Allison shared a gut-wrenching confession. The loss of a close friend from her Little House days hit her hard, pushing her to advocate for mental health. Her past as a villainous icon contrasts with her present as a compassionate voice, proving some rivalries are just for show. Then there's the romance angle, or lack thereof. Melissa Gilbert, at just 15, faced her first on-screen kiss with Dean Butler, who played Almanzo Wilder. The 23-year-old's age gap made her stomach churn, and she froze. Enter Michael Landon, who stepped in like a hero, convincing producers to swap the kiss for a peck. but not everyone was so kind. Allison Arngrim and Steve Tracy, who played Percival, loved to rile Melissa up, staging exaggerated makeout scenes just to see her squirm. It was all in jest. Steve, openly gay, was Allison's partner in crime, not her lover. And what about the show's daring spirit? Little House didn't shy away from tough topics: addiction, racism, adoption, paving the way for TV to get real. That boldness came from the cast's own struggles, like the tensions that bubbled when cameras stopped rolling. Not everyone was besties. Melissa and Melissa Anderson, who played Mary, barely spoke, their feud a quiet storm that lingered. Anderson's recent cryptic comments about her time on set have fans buzzing. Did something bigger drive their divide? Meanwhile, Jonathan Gilbert, Melissa's real-life brother and Willie Olson on screen, walked away from acting for finance, but their estrangement stings. His net worth sits at $2 million built on Wall Street smarts, while Melissa fights to reclaim her financial footing. Let's kick things off with Melissa Sue Anderson, the poised Mary Ingalls. On screen, she was Laura's steadfast sister, but off-camera, she and Melissa Gilbert were like oil and water. Their feud was the talk of the set, a clash so intense it lingered long after the cameras stopped rolling. In her memoir, Gilbert painted Anderson as distant and sharp, but Anderson's side remains a locked vault. Was it her sheltered upbringing, guided by a protective mother, that kept her at arm's length? Today, Anderson's all but vanished from the spotlight, living quietly in Canada, but a recent interview teased a bombshell. She's penning a tell-all that might finally spill the tea. Meanwhile, Gilbert's pushing forward, her $500,000 net worth a shadow of her glory days. Yet her hustle, podcasts, speaking gigs, shows she's not down for the count. Their past as warring sisters contrasts with their present, one cloaked in mystery, the other clawing for relevance. But hold that thought. Did you know Michael Landon was the king of chaos on set? This guy didn't just act and direct. He was a prankster extraordinaire. Picture him teaming up with Melissa Gilbert and Allison Arngrim to wrap a toilet in saran wrap, leaving their co-stars red-faced. His playful spirit was infectious, but it hid a deeper struggle. Landon's battle with illness cut his life short at 54, a loss that rocked the cast and fans alike. His net worth, once $40 million, now sustains his family at $20 million, fueled by royalties and a production company still churning profits. His real estate empire? A $12 million Malibu villa, a $7 million Colorado lodge, and a $4 million Manhattan pied-à-terre. His garage roared with a Porsche 911 and a Mercedes G-Class, while a Vacheron Constantin watch gleamed on his wrist. A Gulfstream jet whisked him to sets, backed by bulletproof insurance for his health and assets. The lesson? Build a brand, but plan for the unexpected. Landon's foresight kept his legacy alive. Now let's talk about the show's wild ride. Little House wasn't afraid to tackle heavy stuff. Poverty, addiction, divorce, making it a trailblazer in the 70s. But its ending? A head-scratcher that still has fans buzzing. After 8 seasons, Landon stepped back and the show morphed into Little House: A New Beginning, with Laura as the lead. It flopped and the plug was pulled. Landon, who directed 90 episodes, later admitted the network's push for fresh faces clashed with his vision. Allison Arngrim, our sassy Nellie Olson, recently reflected on that finale, hinting at behind-the-scenes tensions that sealed its fate. Her own journey's taken a hit. A recent financial misstep slashed her $1 million net worth to $600,000, but she's bouncing back with a comedy tour. Her past as a TV troublemaker shines against her present as a fan favorite, proving some stars only get brighter. Ready for a laugh? The show's bloopers are pure gold. Take Laura's pregnancy. It dragged on for over a year, a timeline snafu that had fans chuckling. Or the time Colonel Sanders popped up in an 1880s episode, hawking fried chicken decades before KFC existed. And don't miss the train scene where a dummy was tossed instead of Albert, landing with a thud while a stuntman rolled past. These flubs, shared by Melissa Gilbert and fun guru Lenny Parker, show the cast's knack for finding joy amid the grind. But not everyone was laughing. Jonathan Gilbert, Melissa's real-life adopted brother and Willie Olson on screen, drifted away post-show. Now a stockbroker with a $2 million net worth, he's worlds apart from Melissa's Hollywood hustle. Their estrangement, a quiet ache in her story. And let's not forget the set's lighter moments. Rachel Greenbush, who played Baby Carrie, spilled in a recent chat that Landon's pranks kept spirits high. He once greeted a guest star with a goofy dance, setting the tone for a tight-knit crew. Arngrim's recent loss of a loved one has her leaning on Gilbert, their friendship a lifeline through life's storms. Dean Butler, aka Almanso, faces his own challenges. A bad real estate deal dented his $800,000 net worth, but he's pitching a new project to rebound. His past as a heartthrob fuels his drive to reclaim his spot. As the sun dips below the horizon of Walnut Grove, the final chapter of Little House on the Prairie beckons with a whirlwind of revelations and reflections. This isn't just a show, it's a mirror to the triumphs and trials of its stars, whose lives off-screen rivaled the drama of any episode. What if the quirks and flubs we laughed at hid deeper struggles? Or if the wealth of one icon outshone the rest, leaving lessons for us all? Join us as we close the book on this Hollywood saga, weaving together the past glories, present challenges, and enduring legacies of a cast that captured our hearts. Let's start with a scene stealer, Michael Landon, the soul of the Prairie. His Charles Ingalls was a beacon of grit, but his real life was a masterclass in ambition and excess. From a $100,000 net worth in the 60s, he skyrocketed to $40 million by his passing in 1991, leaving $8 to $10 million to each of his 9 kids. Today, his estate's worth $25 million, with projections to hit $30 million by 2030, thanks to syndication and his production company. His real estate empire sparkled. A $15 million Santa Barbara estate, a $6 million Aspen chalet, and a $3 million Vegas condo. His garage roared with a Lamborghini Countach and a Cadillac Escalade, while an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak gleamed on his wrist. A Learjet 45 kept him soaring, backed by comprehensive insurance for health, homes, and career. Landon's ventures included a TV movie franchise and a clothing line. But his big lesson? Spend wisely. His lavish taste nearly outpaced his earnings, a cautionary tale in balancing dreams with discipline. But here's a twist that'll make you chuckle. Ever notice the show's bloopers? Like the noisy tree branches rattling outside the girl's window in episodes like The Monster of Walnut Grove, despite no tree existing elsewhere? Or the family quilt that hopped from bed to bed, popping up on Charles's parents and the Olsons alike? These quirks, spotted by eagle-eyed fans, added charm to a show that wasn't afraid to stumble. Yet, they masked a heavier truth. Karen Grassel, who played the nurturing Caroline Ingalls, faced financial strain post-show. Her $500,000 net worth reflects modest roles in films like Wyatt Earp, a far cry from her Little House heyday. Recently, she shared a poignant loss, a dear friend's passing, prompting her to dive into theater, a move that's slowly rebuilding her savings. Her past as a TV matriarch shines against her present, a quiet fight to stay relevant. Now let's talk Melissa Gilbert, our Laura Ingalls. Her journey's been a roller coaster, from child star to political hopeful, only to be sidelined by health woes in 2016. Her $500,000 net worth took a hit, but she's clawing back with a podcast and a lifestyle brand. A recent confession shook fans. She's been grappling with self-doubt, a stark contrast to her fearless Laura. Her financial portfolio includes a $2 million Catskills cabin and a leased Tesla Model S with a Cartier tank watch as her signature. Insurance for her health and assets keeps her grounded, a nod to her cautious side. Gilbert's lesson? Reinvent yourself. Her pivot from acting to entrepreneurship shows resilience pays off. But what's next for her? A rumored TV comeback has tongues wagging, and we're here for it. Then there's the Greenbush twins, Lindsay and Sydney, who shared the role of Carrie Ingalls. Their combined $3 million net worth stems from post-show ventures in writing and charity work. Their real estate includes a $1.5 million Oregon farmhouse, and they cruise in a BMW X5. A shared Omega Seamaster watch ties them to their roots. Recently, they faced a dramatic development, a legal dispute over royalties that threatened their savings, but they're rebounding with a memoir in the works. Their past as the adorable Carrie contrasts with their present as savvy creators, teaching us to protect our assets with ironclad contracts